program password.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me before the Grom, you announced that next week is our 200th show, which we will be doing live from the press box with very near and dear to our heart, iHeart advertising partners. But if you would have asked me how many games we had, I don't know if I would have even come close because how long is 200 shows is how many? 2 years? Year
so this
three?
Is about, yeah. Oh, it's more than 2 years.
I bet you it's 3 years.
If it's once a week.
If you didn't do it every week.
I guess you're right. Yeah. So it's a very long time.
4 years, almost, in fact.
And people still love it. We hope.
They adore it.
Yeah, they do. They adore it.
Not all. Some are bitter. We're not talking NHL trade deadline. But other than that, a lot of people love it.
Just that one guy.
Yeah, just the one person.
My God.
Where are we with the program password, Tana?
Right now, Common and Nordo lead at Lil B and Amy James 44-25. As always, you can watch program password at KFAN.com/watch. Many that are watching at KFAN.com/watch very bitter we're not calling Amy James for her hand gestures. So,
I know, I've been warned.
Amy, if you could put your parts away.
Put your parts away.
In the second half, it would be much appreciated.
This one says, I'm not saying Amy skirted the rules on her mask clue, but I've seen less hand motions from a sign language interpreter.
That is great.
There you go.
Hibbing scored, by the way. Did you see that?
Yeah, Hibbing scored.
Hibbing scored.
Smoking.
Nordo, did you want to give an update?
They're still behind 8-5.
East Grand Forks. I mean, they're making it closer. It's now 8-5.
Yeah.
Yes, Hibbing with the 1-0 lead.
1-0 lead with 6:34 to go first period.
All right, 44-25. Common and Nordo lead at Lil B and Amy James. We played at 80. Like I said, you can watch the second half at KFAN.com/watch. Lil B and Nordo, I need you two to take a look at the iPad, please.
All right, let's get serious.
The password is volunteer. All right, Lil B, you're down 19 points. You have the option. What do you want to do here, first or second?
Second.
All right, Nordo and Common for 10.
Tennessee.
Tuxedo.
What?
What?
Why did I think...
That must be a boomer term.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the Tennessee tuxedo.
It's a cartoon from 1963.
I know the Canadian tuxedo.
And now I know what the correct...
It's all good.
I know
Lil
what
B,
it is now. Hopefully they don't get it.
Lil B and Amy for 9.
Why did I say that?
I loved it. We're past the halfway point.
Helper. Friend.
Nordo and Common for 8.
Offer.
Lil B and Amy for 7.
Charity. Donate.
Nordo and Common for 6.
Serve.
Butler. Tuxedo. Well, that was my wrong answer.
Very thematic, yeah. It's very...
Lil B and Amy for 5.
Person. Titan.
What?
See, that's what I
back
thought.
to Tennessee.
I thought it was Tennessee Titans when you said Tennessee, and then I went
Last
with
one,
tuxedo.
Nordo and Common for 4.
College.
Volunteer.
Oh, my gosh.
There you go.
Common and I should not be guessing at the same time. At least this game, because this is not good. That was a hard word. All
We
right.
said Tennessee College.
In fairness, I put you in a bad spot with the Tennessee right off the bat.
Yeah, who would have thought
you're not
tuxedo off of
immediately
that?
thinking sports names.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a great guess.
I almost said
But
Williams.
I couldn't get Pinch, so
Right.
yeah.
One
You
time,
did fantastic.
One time, one of my favorites still is one time the password was Rooster. It was Rosen and I playing, and I said Cogburn, and he got it right away. Because that's a John Wayne movie character called
Rooster
Rooster
Cogburn.
Cogburn. So would
Yeah.
you have known that?
Yeah.
Oh, you would have known that.
I would have known that, yeah.
Still, Lil B and Marnie were like,
Blown away?
what?
Yeah.
And I can
Cinematic
understand
brilliance?
why. It was a 1964 movie or something.
Oh, it was great. It was back when movies were movies.
Yeah.
All right, Common and Nordo lead by 23. It's 48-25. Common and Amy, take a look at the iPad. The password is Ash. Flip that over there, Amy, please. Thank you. All right, Amy, you're down 23. It's time to make a little bit
We'll
of a
go
comeback
first.
here. All right. Amy and Lil B for 10.
Wednesday. Hump.
Hump day.
Power Trip, Button Bar.
You're welcome.
Common and Nordo for 9.
Wishbone.
Yeah, I got nothing off the Wishbone.
Boomer. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amy and Lil B for 8.
Smudge.
Mascara? What are you talking about?
Common and Nordo for 7.
Forehead.
Ash.
Yes.
Oh, how about that?
What is Wishbone?
One of the great rock band, Wishbone Ash. What? You've never heard of Wishbone Ash?
Nobody's ever heard of that.
Wishbone Ash?
Great band.
That was the name they chose for their band?
Great band.
Okay.
Name one song.
You can't really name any song.
No.
Because they're all too good. You don't want to put one above the other.
It was,
throw it on the record player, start
wasn't-
to finish.
Yeah, it was one of those Haight Ashbury days where you didn't know names of songs. You just knew it had a loud guitar with drums.
Yeah.
Wishbone Ash was a Haight Ashbury group.
I love that you're up 30 and you're still just trying to go for the fun answers. You're not even playing it legit.
If you're
If I had known Wishbone
if you're
Ash.
a music aficionado, someone says Wednesday and you go Wishbone, they go Ash for sure. And I didn't know if he knew. I don't. Maybe he knew it. He knew Rooster Cogburn, and that's older than Wishbone
At the
Ash.
very least, it threw a little B off. So
How are you guys not doing a live listening to Zach right now? It's 9-8 in the first period. I just walked in. How are we not doing a live listening?
I don't
the
understand.
Not that
highest
this
scoring
game
first
is-
period we've ever seen.
It's unbelievable. History is. Barrero's driving to the X right now with his press pass. It's
on
9-8.
call.
Now
He's
it's
on call.
9-9.
Well, and here's what I'll tell you. It's the first game in high school they've ever played with no goaltenders. It's nine. That wasn't very funny. Thanks. Okay.
All right. Common
Flop, sweat,
and
and tears coming
Nordo.
up.
That was well done by JG. He got in.
Dynamite dropping.
Yeah, and he also did an old school joke. That was when Barrero was at home. This is years and years ago. In the game, that one game that went into like 6 overtimes. By the third overtime, he got in his car and started driving down to the Civic Center because he wanted to be there for it, but then he didn't get there in time. It was history. It was going to
I was
be
there.
6-1. 10-B was there.
All right.
I've
Common
fallen asleep on the couch.
and Nordo lead Lil B and Amy James 55-25. Lil B and Nordo. Take a look at the iPad. The password is Grant. All right, Lil B, you're down 30 points. It's been a bit of a struggle. Common and Nordo have reeled off 4 in a row here.
What of a struggle. I'll go first.
You have the option. You're going first.
Yeah, I am.
I sound nothing like that impression, by the way.
Yeah, you do.
Lil B and Amy for 10.
Hugh Grant.
What?
I was going to go Ulysses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Would you have
Ulysses
gotten
would have been
Grant?
great.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Unless you said S.
Yeah. Hue, I would have said color.
Yeah, that's hue would be a shade, or
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
And you guys wouldn't have gotten 10
and
points.
that's the
Nobody knows.
difference
That is
between us and
correct.
you.
Nobody knows who Hugh Grant is.
Everybody knows who Hugh
you've got-
Grant
you've got
is.
an actor, a pop stars tour, and then what was the other one they got off of a?
Oh, the mask.
Yeah, The Mask. And then the singing one you did early. What was that one you sang? And then Lil B
She
did.
was singing Danger Zone.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, there was
I
another
didn't
one.
get that one.
Didn't you sing another one too early?
Oh, that was a different game.
Oh, different game.
Yeah, I sang Hillbilly Deluxe.
They all can't get Wishbone Ash, Common.
That's for sure.
My God.
All right, it's 55-35.
now.
Lil B and
Let's go.
Amy have stopped the bleeding. They're down by 20. Common and Amy. Take a look at the iPad. The password is grow. All right, Amy, flip that iPad over, please. Amy.
We got a goal, Tennessee.
Oh, we got a goal.
game.
We got a
East
goal.
Grand Forks.
East Grand
Ties.
Forks. Tied 1-1.
It's 1-1 with a minute 11 left in the first. That's a lot of ones. Amy, you're down 20. You
need
got
to
the
win.
option here. You want to go first or second?
Sorry, it was a bad second.
Second.
All right, Common and Nordo for 10.
Pinocchio.
Nose.
Amy and Lil B for 9.
Elongate. Grow.
I shouldn't have given that.
Good word.
I just handed it to him, but I just wanted to say Pinocchio.
Did you say elongate or elongate?
Elongate.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Whichever one's
That was a
right,
good word.
that's the
Yeah,
one I
that
said.
was a good one.
I knew that would probably give it to them, but I've never said Pinocchio in program password before, and I just wanted to. So
It's a where were you moment.
correct.
No, you put me on the right track. Other than the
Yeah. Well, I knew you were going to say no's, and they would.
Oh,
get it.
Hibbing just scored on a rebound. It's 2-1. 7 seconds after the East Grand Forest goal. 55-44. Lil B and Amy James making a little bit of a comeback.
we got to
here.
stem the tide.
55-44.
Not liking this.
Lil B and Nordo, take a look at the iPad. The password is shake. All right, Lil B, you're down 11. You can make this a 1-point game here. You have the option. You want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay.
All right, Lil B and Amy for 10.
Shimmy. Shake. Excellent clue. That was
I'd
perfect.
already been rehearsing my victory speech and thinking this is going to end really early. We're going to have to kill some time. So I was going to ask Nordo some questions we had of him the other day. We're still going to do that. Can you hang for a couple minutes after?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's a 1-point game.
yeah.
55-54. Common and Nordo with the lead.
You just want to watch the hockey game at this point? It's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, it's not looking good for us.
Common and Amy James, take a look at the iPad. The password is Dodge. Amy, flip that upside down, please. Thank you. Amy, you're down a point, so you can take the lead here. You have the option. Would you like to go first or second?
Her purse is wedged. Hang on.
I'm having problems.
Veteran savvy move to get yourself more time to think about what you want to ask here.
What was that, Tanner?
You're down a point. You got the option. What do you want to do here, Amy?
I will go second.
All right. Common and Nordo for 10.
Avoid.
Avert.
Amy and Lil B for 9.
Caravan.
Carpool?
Common and Nordo for 8.
Chrysler.
Dodge.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that was good.
Caravan was really good, though. But I mean,
Not as good as Chrysler.
but I get it because the Dodge Caravan
Yeah,
was very good.
That was good.
All right, Common and Nordo bounce back. They are now lead 63-54. They're up by 9. They're 17 points away from a win. Lil B and Nordo, take a look at the iPad. The password is PIN. All right, Lil B, you're down 9. You can still take the lead, though, here with a 10-pointer. You have
Chisholm scored again. It's
Yeah, they did.
3-1.
They're up 3-1. You have the option here, Lil B. You want to go first or second?
First,
All right, Lil B and Amy for 10 in the lead.
Bobby Socks.
Nordo and Common for 9.
Lapel.
Big wheel. I just wanted to say Bobby Big Wheel because you always say Bobby Big Wheel. When I don't know the answer, I just throw out stuff, you know.
Lil B and Amy for 8.
Needle.
Pin.
Oh,
Really could use that 10.
Yeah, Bobby Socks.
What about bowling?
What the hell is a Bobby socks?
yeah. The Bobby. I didn't think of pin and lapel. That's my fault for
All good.
sure. And I don't mind admitting to it. I'm a dope, but
What are Bobby Socks?
What are Bobby's?
What's
you
label?
said it.
Bobby
know.
socks
Big
is a
wheel.
1950s thing.
They're actual socks.
Yeah.
Though? I've just heard the term before. I don't know. Sorry, Lil B.
Could have used the 10. I know.
We got ourselves a game.
Still
It's
got the point.
63-62. Common and Nordo with a 1-point lead. Common and Amy. Take a look at the iPad. The password is Pony. Flip that over, please. I just called you my daughter's name. Amy. Amy, you're down 1 point, so the option is still on you.
First.
Oh, she sounds very confident. Amy and Lil B for 10.
Genuine.
Rapper.
Common and Nordo for 9.
Horse.
Pony.
What was that clue she gave?
Oh, wow, it's a song.
It's a Gen X term.
Would you like to?
I would not.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping, I figured
yeah.
it was a Gen X term, so I thought when she didn't get it, I'm just going to go with horse, and you'd put 2 and 2 together, and you did. Well done.
Yeah,
Great
that's-
song.
No, it's
Bangers.
It is a great. It is a banger.
My bad.
an awful song.
Well, no one will ever remember it
But
10
it-
years from now, but
Well, I
they
think
remember.
everybody in
It's 25 years old.
No
Yeah.
offense,
It's old.
Everybody in our
Era.
age group,
Correct.
We are very familiar with.
My saddle's waiting. Come and jump on it.
Yeah, jump on it.
Yeah.
Well, what great lyrics. I can't imagine who could write stuff like that.
Here's where we're at.
Somebody named Genuine.
For my own humor, if you could find iconic hip hop songs and just have Tenna read the non-vulgar lyrics,
Well, Nordo, you're going to be with me for an hour on Monday, so we could do that
maybe
at
we
that,
could
at
do
that
that.
point. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Here's where we're at. Common and Nordo. you're at 72 points. So if you
I thought we had that.
8 or more, you are victorious. Lil B and Amy, you're just 10 back. You're at 62.
All right.
Lil B and Nordo, take a look at the iPad. The password is error. All right, Lil B, you're down 10. You can tie this thing up, and the possession arrow would be your way. So you could win this without those two ever even going again. You have the option here. You want to go first or second?
First.
Didn't sound very confident.
I am not.
Lil B and Amy for 10.
Mistake. Oops. Definitely not oops. I meant oops. Sorry, I guessed that.
Oops, I did it again. Nordo and Common for 9 and the win.
Clerical
Error.
Oh, dang.
That was a good clue.
Ball game.
Clerical. Damn it. Oh,
Well done, Nordo.
wow. Told you he could play.
Quick questions for you.
Yeah.
Can you drive a stick shift?
Yes.
Can you change a tire on a car?
Yeah.
Could you jumpstart a car?
Yes.
We knew you could. The questions were, how many other people on the Fan Air staff couldn't do any of those? And we thought it was more that couldn't than could, right?
Let me
for
see
sure.
here.
Yeah.
My guy, I don't think
No,
so.
no.
Barrero? Come on.
JG?
JG?
Eh.
I think JG could do it, but it'd take a long time. Because it'd be the first time he's got the new tire iron.
He'd at least look at YouTube and figure it out.
He has the
Yeah.
jumper cables. I bet he has all sorts of tools in his trunk that he just forgot were there.
Yeah, they're his wives.
So I think JG could do it.
Meat sauce?
No chance.
No.
Yeah.
Chance.
No
Cove?
chance.
Cove?
He can jump a car, I bet.
Nah, that's a lot of electricity potentially there.
He is
I
from
don't know,
Chisago
I might
Lakes.
stay away
Hockey
from
could
that.
probably do all those, right?
Hawk
Or not
and
necessarily.
Corey, I would give them credit. Yeah, I think they could do it. Absolutely.
Very good. Thanks for coming
Those were
in.
the questions?
Yeah, we had others
Oh,
too. But
okay.
I thought we were going to have a lot of time to kill. Looked like we were going to destroy our. They get spirited comeback.
Yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
thanks for making it a game.
It was
We
very
thought
good.
this would be quick, one segment, but I appreciate you participating today, ladies.
Yeah, well done. We appreciate that. Nordo, power truck. I was to say power
East
truck.
Grand Forks up 10-9 after the
10-9
first.
now. Nordo from the Paul Allen Project. Amy James from K102. Thank you very much. Lil B, as always, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take a break, come back with more here on The Fan. Because we're the worst all sports radio station in the country, so says a former employee who, funny, was fired from here. We do things like rip-offs of television game shows that were first started in 1963. But there's been a lot of success to it. The people seem to enjoy it. Our streaming numbers are through the roof on all of our platforms, I guess is what we call them. Show number 200 next week before a live studio audience. Lil B and Marnie will take on Max and Common. I'm assuming that's what the teams will be. I wouldn't. Why?
Yeah, I think we'll do the Drip Brothers versus whatever their name is.
Why you would ever separate maybe the greatest combination of all time. Lil B and I was going to say Max and Common. Lil B and Marnie would be strange, but that'll be next week again at 1:30. But because we're the worst all sports radio shows in the country, we'd rather do that than keep up with trade deadline NHL. Trade he scores. How about Fallness's call today at the first goal?
Do you want me to play it?
Can you?
Yeah, I can find that.
Can you find that?
Hold on.
As you look for that,
I got it.
Okay, here we go. This was Fallness today, this was game one.
This is St. Cloud Cathedral.
Okay.
Who did they play? Or no.
They
I believe
won
this was
today.
goal number 2. This is in the first period to give them a 2-0 lead.
Back out of center ice, Caden Johnson looking for a man. He's wide open. Shoots! Scores! Jagger Wood takes the pass in the slot right at the hash marks. Bar down, and Cathedral has the 2-0 advantage.
Bar down. Let me ask you a question.
Very excited.
PA did a wild game, did he not?
You're right, he did, yes.
When he did it, did he ever, did Kaprizov get the puck and he goes, he's loose, out in the open ice? And PA is going to do a basketball game, right? I think he's going to do a Wolves game.
Yeah.
And that's going to be on, will it be on the fan? Because, the Wolves don't get on the fan that often.
Depends on
depends
what else is going
so
on.
I'm not sure if he's going to be on the fan or if it's going to be on the Plus or somewhere else.
Well, the Wolves channel on the iHeartRadio
yes,
app, definitely.
Of course, yes,
Which
definitely.
you just have on your preset.
Right. Well, and did you know that we're fourth in the country for iHeart stations that are preset by their listeners? There's a lot of iHeart radio stations. I think we were actually at third once, but then some wacky music station jumped over us, and that's okay too. Was there any activity, Tim, while we were playing program pass? The deadline came and went at 2:00. I know the Wild made their trade yesterday, and I don't remember who we got. We talked about it in 5-3-4, maybe even prior to that. The Wild, I don't think, made any other moves we would know about them. Were there any other major changes?
Nope. Yep. The trade deadline has passed. The Wild were pretty quiet after that trade last night. A couple significant players on the move, though.
Marchand.
Brad Marchand is no longer a Boston Bruin. He is heading to the Florida Panthers. So
Interesting.
They are going to be loading up in Florida. And in terms of players within the division, Brock Nelson going to the Colorado Avalanche, Mikko Rantanen going to the Dallas Stars. So those two teams who you're going to have to go through in the playoffs, they got better today.
We're assuming, we think, that both Kaprizov and Joel Eriksson will be back eventually. The Wild.
Brodin's out too.
And Brodin. I'm sorry, I always forget about and how I could. I was sure it's Brodin and not Broden. No, I mean, do we know? Broden. Did anybody ask? Again, we've got some space.
Yeah, PA's doing the Wolves game Sunday on the Fan.
Okay.
It'll be right here. So
we do have space between. We look like we're a playoff team, right? Barring a collapse of some sort. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, last I checked, they were up 9 points.
If we get Broden, who is, by the way, he's related to Neil Broden. If we get Brodin, Eck, and Caps back, what do you like of our chances in post? Right now, did you say we'd have to play, is it Dallas?
Right now, if the playoffs started today, we would take on the Dallas Stars. So
we can't beat them, right? We just haven't been able to, anyways, right? Is that correct?
They're up 8 points on the Wild now. They've won 4 in a row, and they just acquired Mikko Rantanen. They also just extended Wyatt Johnson to a contract today too. He's a good young player. I would not like our chances against Dallas. I think, one, we have to assume we're healthy, which at this stage is a big assumption. 2, even if we are healthy, that doesn't mean the guys returning are just mid-season form, right?
That's true.
Kirill Kaprizov historically has taken a while to get going when he's come off of long breaks.
Kaprizov.
And then the third part of this is I just don't know if they have enough depth at the forward position. I think their defensemen, even though some of those defensemen haven't been great in the playoffs before because you need to play a little bit bigger, stronger game, and we're a little bit smaller in the back end. But their blue line should be good enough in a playoff series, assuming their goaltending keeps playing this well. Should be good enough in a playoff series. But they just don't have a lot of offensive depth. So I would not like their chances if they were to hook up with Dallas. But you also have the Colorado Avalanche, who are tied with the Wild right now. The Wild just have one game in hand, but they're both at 76 points. it's probably a good possibility the Wild drop below Colorado, and we're going to be sitting in one of those wild card spots, and then you're either going to Winnipeg or going to Vegas.
Let me ask you one other question. Think back to the beginning of the season. Where did you think the Wild would be at this time if it went out? Barring major injuries like we have had, did you think they would be in a spot where they got a playoff spot, or were we thinking this is the year we might struggle to even make the playoffs?
If you would have told me the Wild were third in the Central Division and Kirill Kaprizov has missed, was he missed like 2 months, 3 months, 2.5 months?
You would have said
I would have laughed at you. Yeah. I think before the season, you were just hoping they would be in that mix to get a playoff spot. So I still think they're a little bit fool's gold, at least. I just offensively, I just don't think they're gonna struggle to score in the playoffs. Unless Kaprizov is healthy and goes on a heater, which he's capable of.
Yes, correct.
But I still think that this is a team that we're looking for next season, 2 seasons from now, 3 seasons from now is when you're hopefully peaking.
By the way, it's 3-1. Hibbing Chisholm beating East Grand Forks Class A semifinal game. It's a 3-1 the score. I had several people reach out to me and ask where was Lou Nanny on the broadcast. Lou is not doing a game. He's not doing Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament for the first time in 60 years. 60 years.
That's a heck of a run.
It is a heck of a run, but I wanted people to know that that's what it is. People want to know, is there something wrong with Louis? No, he just decided to bow out after all those years. So Louis out, breaking news here on the Common Man program. Well, then, you know what, Tinneby? I'm going to look at, I'm not a moral victory kind of a guy. I like parades, quite frankly. But I'm with you. I didn't even think, from my limited knowledge of the NHL, it's just from talking to people and reading things, people I trust, I didn't think we'd even make the playoffs. I thought we were going to be a terrible team in a terrible city with terrible fans, terrible stadium. So,
well, I mean, they didn't make the playoffs last year. And if you look at the moves they made in the offseason, they really didn't do anything that upgraded the team, right? Their signature move was signing Yakov Trenyan, who, frankly, I didn't like the signing at the time, and I like it even less now. We're spending $3.5 million on him. He was supposed to improve the penalty kill. That has not happened. Doesn't chip in offensively a whole lot. So, the only way they were going to just get better is just internally improve. And, their defensemen have been pretty darn good all season long. Clearly, Gustafsson had a rebound season off of a bad year. So, yeah, I mean, it was hard to look at the team the way they performed last season. Then how are you going to get better other than just stay healthy? But they even really haven't stayed healthy.
Someone texted me and says PA did say he's loose during the Wild game. He actually sent me the soundbite from it, but when it's on a text message here, I don't know how to get it to you. I don't know if we can. I'd like to hear it. He's loose, but apparently he did do it during a Wild when he did that Wild game all those years ago. Let's do this. I know the show has been progressing at a breakneck speed. It's been fast-paced, controversial, etc. Wait till you get a load of the last segment of the week. We like to call it the Victory Formation segment. It's been another winning week for us here on the Common Man program. So we're going to get into Victory Formation and kneel down on this final segment.
I should have that He's Loose audio on the other side of the break.
Beautiful. We'll do that next. Common Man program on the Fan. Couple 13-14 past Victory Formation Hour, keeping you updated on the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. It's Class A semifinal action, the second of the day. Earlier, defending state champ St. Cloud Cathedral beat Orono to advance. Right now, is it 3-2, Tennessee? Hibbing leads?
3-2 Hibbing with the lead over East Grand Forks.
And we're
second period.
Second period. Wishbone Ash are a British rock band who achieved success in the early to mid-1970s. Who? Their albums include Wishbone Ash, makes sense, that was 1970. Pilgrimage, 1971. The highly acclaimed Argus, that was 1972. Wow, man. Can you put Argus on the turntable? Wishbone 4, it was their fourth album, tended to be much like Foreigner 4, Wishbone 4. Led Zeppelin 4. A lot of creative names of albums there. Also, the 1974's There's the Rub. And then, of course, who could forget, even you, 1976's album, New England.
Oh, one of my favorites.
Wishbone Ash are noted for their extensive use of harmony twin lead guitars, which had been attracting electric blues bands since Jeff Beck and Jimmy Page had played together in the name of the band? The Yardbirds.
Oh.
The Yardbirds. That was in 1966. Their contributions helped Andy Powell and Ted Turner to be voted 2 of the 10 most important guitarists in rock history.
Wow.
And you doubted Wishbone Ash. You laughed at them. Traffic Magazine called them that. And Melody Maker described Powell and Turner as the most interesting 2-guitar team since the days when Beck and Page graced the Yardbirds. Several notable bands have cited Wishbone Ash as an influence. Okay? Because in case you doubted Wishbone Ash, think of these bands that said Wishbone Ash influenced us. That would include the Eagles, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Van Halen, Leonard Skinner, Thin Lizzy, Metallica. Dream Theater, have you ever heard of them?
No.
How about Overkill?
No.
Me neither. How about Opeth? I haven't heard of that either.
No.
They were formed in Torquay, Devon in 1969 out of the ashes of the trio of Empty Vessels. Originally known as the Torinos, later briefly renamed Tanglewood in 1969. So there's your Wishbone Ash history lesson. So now if anybody ever says to you, have you ever heard of the band Wishbone Ash? And you'll say, yeah, I guess. So at least you'll know you have.
If you and I are ever password teammates and you give me the clue Ash, I will say Wishbone.
Yes. You know what? When she asked me to name a song and I didn't know any, I wished I'd have been quick enough to said, Don't Break Us Apart. Because, Wishbone, you break it apart, it would have been a really good answer. For those that would have gotten the subtle humor and would have gotten the reference. Have you ever done the Wishbone thing where you take it out of the turkey?
I've seen it, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, we would do that every single Thanksgiving as kids. We didn't have much to entertain ourselves with. We didn't have video games, right? We didn't have handheld computers which double as a communication device. We didn't have DVDs and DVRs. So one of the big things at Thanksgiving was take out the wishbone, set it aside, let it dry, and then 2 of the people in the family would do the old pull the wishbone apart and your wish would come true. So
do they have any songs that we have ever heard of?
No, absolutely not. Though they were, like I say, they were kind of, I don't know if I wouldn't call them prog rock, but they were, you had to be really into Wishbone Ash, I think, to really like Wishbone Ash. And to be honest, they weren't one of my favorites, but the name is just, for me, it's very recognizable. I think there's some people right now, if they pulled the long end of the wishbone, they wished I would quit talking about this, and I'm about to stop. Daylight savings time this weekend, correct?
Yes.
So it's spring forward, fall back. I ran across an interesting story, Tenebee, on the Associated Press website. Story done by Marjorie A. Beck. Headline says, Daylight saving time is coming and the golf industry can't wait. Dateline, Omaha, Nebraska. Looking forward to more evening sunlight thanks to daylight savings time this weekend. Many in the golf industry like the time change too, and they're pushing to make the annual switch permanent. Moves intended to encourage more evening golf and stave off efforts to establish permanent standard time, which would leave less time for an evening on the links. And those late afternoon players who tend to buy food and those who play in the late afternoon tend to buy food and drink in the clubhouse too. General manager of Stone Creek Golf Course in Omaha says, we would lose 100 tee times a day if daylight saving time goes away.
Wow.
Switching to permanent standard time would cost us $500,000 a year.
Wow. Golf
has deep roots in the history of daylight savings time. Some credit goes to William Willett, British builder, avid golfer. Giving now doubled up on East Grand Forks 4-2 to score 836. He was a British builder and avid golfer who in 1905 published a pamphlet advocating for moving clocks ahead in April, returning them back to the regular settings in September. The U.S. adopted a version of that during WW1, and of course the big one, WW2. Congress passed the Uniform Time Act in 1966, set up the biannual time change. Lobbying efforts by the golf industry are largely credited for Congress expanding daylight savings time by a month in the mid-1980s. Now, I wasn't aware of this, and I'm the unofficial ambassador for Minnesota Golf. I always thought it was basically for farmers, is what I always thought it was about. Now, however, I know there are people, because it is, there are people in Congress trying to get permanent standard time. The argument would be that if you stayed that way, I think part of the reason is for safety too, right? For kids going to the school bus early in the morning. Mm-hmm. Now that if you went to standard time in the middle of winter, didn't they say like here in Minnesota wouldn't get light to almost 9 o'clock in the morning? That's what to me, that's too life-changing for me and too altering. The idea of it still being dark out at 8 o'clock in the morning just doesn't seem, it seems un-American to me. It doesn't even seem like humans should be in that type of a situation. Selfishly, not just for the golf industry, but for me, the best part is fall back. Because of frost delays in the morning, right? When they fall back, that allows, if it was just regular time all the time, the frost wouldn't lift till 10 a.m. every day in the fall. This is all selfish. Mm-hmm. Now it lifts at about 9 a.m. and I can still get around and golfing. Are you a daylight savings time guy?
I haven't put a whole lot of thought into it.
Well, you might want to start thinking about it.
Other than it throws off my kids a little bit.
You might want to, because I think they're going to make some kind of a decision eventually. If you were to take either one, because I've heard arguments for both, I like daylight savings time. If they're going to do it permanently, then just go with what we're going to do starting on Sunday, the flip from Monday to Sunday. That's what I would do. But it's nice having now I understand the people like if in the winter 4:30, 4:45, it's already dark. I'm not doing anything outside in the middle of January anyways. What are you going to be doing at 5:30 or 6 o'clock? You're not barbecuing out in the backyard. What do you need daylight for? I like when it gets dark early. Makes me feel like I want to go to bed earlier. I'm all for daylight savings time, and I'm permanent on daylight savings time.
I know business-wise it wouldn't work, but I would love for a golf course to have like night golf where you actually have like lights on so you can play past whenever it gets dark. And
there were 2 of those golf courses in the Twin Cities for a long time. Did you not know that? Both
I played one
Country View?
in Maplewood, which is now where the Costco is. Now, it wasn't lit very well.
No, but you could play. I think there was 2 of them. One was called Country View.
And obviously it was just like a par 3 course.
Yeah, and the other one was called, I think the one in Maple, I think it was actually on the Maplewood White Bear border. I think they were close to each other. There was 2 of them. One was White Bear, and one was in, though I did it once. The problem was the mosquitoes. I didn't bring any insect repellent. I mean, we had to leave the course. We couldn't play anymore. It was that bad. We were just getting killed by it. But yeah, they have that, and I think in Arizona they have night courses. Somebody just told me they got back from there and they played night golf when they're out of
Arizona. It makes more sense there because they can do it year round.
You are correct.
And actually there, you might want to do it at night when it's a little cooler.
Is it now 5-2? It's
5-2, yeah. Did I miss another one?
Yeah, I think we did. Go ahead and hit the horn. We got to do it. I'd asked you before the tournament started if Hibbing was for real, and you said they were. You know your high school hockey, Tenemy. You get it. Should we do a little live listening to see what?
Sure.
See what?
7:06 left in the second period.
Yeah, let's see what Fallness has to say.
These skilled plays by Hibbing, you got to find your own skilled players. You got to depend on them. You got to ride on them and hope. And they just almost put another one away. They're getting that they're still generating those opportunities. It's a steeper climb, but still doable for the Green Wave if they keep at it.
East Grand Forks tied this game at a goal apiece. Then 2 quick ones by Hibbing extended the lead to 3-1. That was your score after 1 period of play. Go to the second. East Grand Forks cuts the lead to 1 when Tucker Lovejoy scored even strength at the 5:50 mark. But again, in the span of just over a minute and a half, Rewerts and Hildebrand have extended that lead back to 3. Hibbing with a 5-2 lead now. 6:20 left to go in the second period. Hibbing trying to add to it. Down the seat. Big hit delivered by Jake Chupka. Got his man off balance and sent him into another stratosphere. Ref goes down to the ice. Everyone's feeling the ice at this point. Here comes Hibbing, centering pass, led by the Blue Jackets. Green Wave did intercept that one. They tried to send it the length. And man, oh man,
He's filled in for whenever their play-by-play guy's been out for the Wild before. And yeah, he's done the high school stuff before. I've done games with him before.
Cole Swanson, of course.
Why aren't you doing games right now in the fan?
Tries to get some separation. Leaves it for Tate Swanson. Tate Swanson with it now, looking to go to the backhand. Now instead delivers a pass, gets the rebound, back on his own stick. He'll send it he'll rim it around the end boards, and
this is
Chase
a
Van
FedEx
Epps
Friday.
will grab it at
This is victory
center ice.
formation, in case
Tries
you
to
didn't
feed a
know.
pass into the slot. That fails the clip because he was trying to find Mulebrock. Kept in, and now it's a great opportunity led by Varnson. That fails to deliver a shot, but he was right there in front of Wally. And unable
I don't
to
know
get
what happened there. It
anything
looked like Marnson was
Got to bury that one.
Yeah, I think he almost
at the
had
right
to.
half wall. Redirection almost found its way to the net.
Wrap
Instead, it's kept in at the left
around.
point by
No.
Bees. Bounces out to center ice. And the Green Wave are able to.
All right, well, that's fine. Hibbing Chisholm leading East Grand Forks. Scores 5. Watch them score now right when we dump out of the coverage. This broke about half hour ago or so. Washington Commanders released defensive tackle Jonathan Allen.
Oh my gosh, you are above average at that.
6 weeks after their playoff run ended with a loss to eventual champ Philadelphia, they parted ways with one of their defensive leaders. Jonathan Allen released Friday, ending the standout defensive tackle's time with the team that drafted him after 8 seasons. There was no guaranteed money owed to the 30-year-old veteran going into the final year of his contract, which made him a candidate to be released to save the Commanders roughly $20 million against a salary cap. What would he look like in a purple and gold uniform, Tenneby?
I know Meat Sauce wants him.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah. Obviously, Meat Sauce has a great NFL mind.
Well, yeah.
He's getting a little up there in age. Seems like 20.
30.
Yeah, he's 29 years old, or is he 30 now?
I thought I saw 30.
Yeah, he just turned 30. So, turned 30 on January 16th. But, two-time Pro Bowler. I've talked about it with the running back position, and I'll say it with the defensive tackle. This is also like this draft is supposed to be huge on running backs, huge on defensive tackles, which for the Vikings, they've been in need of defensive tackle for a long time. I'd like to think they'll be snatching one up in the draft. But when you know you're going to have that many available in the draft and you're going to get them on the cheap side for X amount of years, do you really want to commit long-term money to a 30-year-old?
Well, yeah, I tend to agree with you. I guess part of it also depends upon, do you think that, when you're at 14-3, you're sort of thinking, last year we got to the door, this year we knocked on it, now we're going to kick it in. But I don't know if we look at the Vikings. Like, do you look at the Vikings as like, wow, this is our window's open right now. We might be ready to take the next step to win the big game. I just don't know if we are, because I don't know enough about the quarterback. Rookie quarterbacks have done well. We just saw the kid for Washington do that. And because we have holes and self-admittedly by the team itself in the middle of the offensive line with the 2 guard positions in the center, we have all sorts of issues in the defensive. Didn't you just earlier read a story that basically said the guy that we want to keep, he's going to go to free agency, a defensive back.
Byron Murphy Jr.
Byron Murphy Jr. apparently we want him, but he's by all accounts
He wants to get paid.
He wants to get paid, and so
Wants to test the market.
I guess we could end up signing him, but so we're going to have problems there. And with only so many draft picks, if you sit with that 24th, I think that's where we're at. If you use the 24th, which position do you use it at? Because like you say, you need defensive tackle. You could use a running back eventually, and you need players in the secondary, offensive linemen. So if you have an opportunity to get a guy like this and think you can squeeze another 2, 3, 4 years out of him.
To your point on whether the window is open, assuming you have your guy at the quarterback position, and none of us know that at this stage, but assuming you drafted him as a franchise quarterback and he becomes a franchise quarterback, well, of course, you've got a 4-year window here where he's going to have definitely 3 years of being on a very cheap contract and 4th on being on a very reasonable contract because that 5th-year option will kick in if you don't, right? And they have tons of cap space, and they're coming off a 13-4 season. Now you're going to have to replace a bunch of those guys. I get it. And who knows who they're going to be able to get in free agency, and they're not going to have a ton from a draft standpoint, but you have to imagine, hey, anytime you've got a potential franchise quarterback on a cheap contract for the next 3-4 years, you're coming off a very successful season, and you have cap space. Yeah, you've got a window open here.
Yeah. What about
Hold on.
East Grand Forks? They can't spell quit. Actually, they can spell quit. They just refuse to dot the I and cross the T. It's 5-3. Hibbing Chisholm leading East Grand Forks, 1:55 to go in the second period. We mentioned earlier that Paul Allen had done a Minnesota Wild hockey game. He's now going to do a Minnesota Timberwolves game. You can't put PA in any type of a box. He's multi-talented, multifaceted when it comes to play-by-play. I'd asked aloud earlier, Tenneby, that when he did that Wild game, had he ever used his signature, he's loose, because he uses that during football games if the Vikings running back gets loose. And someone said he did do it during a Wild game, and you now have the audio. Correct?
Not only did he do it, he did it on the game-winning goal in overtime.
Oh, really? Okay, here we go.
It is Brodin, Kaprizov, and Eriksson-Ek. And here comes Joel Eriksson-Ek, and he's loose, and he scores! And the Wild have defeated the Vancouver Canucks 3-2 in overtime. And it is.
He's Eki. That's a good call for having never done hockey before.
It was a very good call.
I don't think he's going to replace LaPanta anytime soon, but it was a nice job. Well done by the Paul Allen Project. I'm out on Monday, Tuesday, Tenneby. I will be, baby brother Peter is coming home for spring break. We're going to go, we've already got a couple of places. I know there's nowhere to golf right now. Different parts of the metro got different snow depths. So I'm going to play a little Shadowbrook out in Lester Prairie, going to go up to the Refuge in Oak Grove. And I'll tell you what, Tenneby, if we get more snow between now and the time I'm teeing off, we're going down to Des Moines because I texted Grok AI. Is there any snow cover in Iowa? It said none. So there's plenty of golf to be had somewhere. So I'll be doing that.
Do you want to know all the sports going on tonight on our stations?
Sure, go ahead.
So you got St. Thomas Academy versus Stillwater at 6 o'clock. That's on the Fan.
And that will be with Zacho on the call.
Gopher Hockey takes on Notre Dame. That'll be at 7 o'clock on Twin Cities News Talk, AM 1130.
Okay.
Wolves take on the Heat. That's at 7 o'clock. You can listen to that on the iHeartRadio app, the Wolves channel. 8 o'clock, Edina versus Moorhead. That'll be on KFAN Plus, 96.7 FM. And then the Wild versus Canucks game. That's 9 o'clock tonight on Fan. Obviously, all of them are on the iHeartRadio app. But
you know what that sounds like to me?
Station for sports?
Programming predicament.
It is a programming predicament. It's a lot going on.
Familiar with a show called The Rockford Files, Tennessee?
I am.
Yeah.
How about Gilligan's Island?
Well, one of the two I'll be watching, I think. Hey, thanks for having me, Tennessee.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We enjoyed our visit with you today. I am out Monday and Tuesday. Tenneby will be in this chair and stay in that chair. He'll have some assistance. Rosen will be in on Tuesday. Meat Sauce is going to chip in, Nordo and some others. So good luck to the Tenna Fitzgerald as it sets sail noon on Monday and noon again on Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend. Stick around. Big Ticket and JG are next. I'll talk to you Wednesday at 12 noon. Right? Cheering the fan.
Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. And good night, Minnesota.
And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.